Okay, good evening. Today is Monday, January 20th. I'm going to feed the bins right now. I have some bins here that I'm going to feed, and I have one up here that I already fed. The two blue bins won't get fed. As you've seen in my other videos, those are bins that are self-sustainable because of the amount of organic matter that's in it. So we're not going to do anything to that. I also have two bins down here, excuse me, that are going to be harvested probably within the next week. So they're not going to get any raw food as far as green matter, fruit, or anything like that. They're just going to get some powdered up, some goat manure, and they're going to get a good feeding of that. I don't like to put any food in there as we get close to the time that I'm going to harvest them. This one here, this one I just did put together, harvest, and put new bedding in on 1/13. So this one I did happen to give some food to, and pretty much the amount of worms that are in here, they devoured it. There's little remnants of it in here. Some of the skins that didn't really break down yet. So they actually did good work on that. It's a good healthy bin. I'm not going to dig all the way down. Just going to dig a little through the top just to mix it up a little bit before I feed them. I believe when I was filming this one, I didn't get a chance to say about how many worms was in here, but the total of worms was a little over a pound. So as most say, a pound is 1,000 worms, so there's about 1,000 plus worms in here. So it's a good active bin. This one I'm going to feed some cantaloupe skins that I have. They were frozen, thawed them out. So, because this bin was new, I'm going to give it 3 pieces. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to get 3 pieces. And get covered back up. A lot of times, you know, everybody does everything their way. We watch what others do, and then we make a decision on how we're going to do it. So I don't particularly always feed on one end or the other. When I'm putting in food, where I might blend up some green matter, some vegetables, some fruit, some banana peels, or anything like that, I will feed on one side. Let them devour that, and then the next time I feed, I rotate it to the other side or the middle. I don't always go all the way to the end. I might start on one end, put some in the middle next time, and some on this end. I'm not letting them do the full journey to go hunt for food. So I'm going to put this one back. So that one's taken care of. I usually like to feed them on Sunday, but this weekend, I was a little unprepared. I actually started to shoot the video for that and the batteries died. So this is the bin that's going to be harvested sometime at the end of this week. Should be harvested by the 24th of January. So anywhere near them, there's a couple of worms hanging out towards the top, some seed, but this is very good. A lot of worms at the top. Nice moisture. Love the moisture level. It's not too wet. A little bit of food matter. I'll just sweep that up after I'm done. Just a pocket where there was some food, some unbroken down skins. Oh, that was some pumpkin. So, very good. They look very good. Nice sized worms in here. Excuse me. This also has the biochar on the bottom. I'm not going to disturb the biochar. Wow, right in this corner, nice clump of worms. All over on this side, a nice concentration of worms. Oh man, even as you saw, there's still a lot of worms in there, but I'm still getting a clump of worms. They like that corner. With a spoon, yeah, look at that. Nice sized worms. So I'm just gonna let them go. Straighten it back out. Gonna level it back out. Nice moisture. I'm not worried about that. Moisture looks good. This bin, excuse me, this bin, I wouldn't be surprised if I get 1.5 pounds to close to 2 pounds out of it. So I'm going to give them a nice dose of, a little smoky there, nice dose of some goat manure. I usually don't let it down when you give it a little water. But I'm just going to cover it back up. And by the end of the week, probably Saturday, will be when this one gets harvested. I harvest this one. Very light. I can tell the difference between that bin and that bin. That one's a little lighter, so it feels real good. Here's the third bin. This bin also, a couple of worms there. This bin also, a lot of activity on top of the this one I'm not going to stir up. Excuse me. I don't know if you can see it. There's a lot of biochar on top. So what was mixed in, and then there's some skins on their last feeding that they devoured. So this one I'm really not going to really not bother, because when I take this top part off, I'm going to probably get a lot of those, a lot of the biochar that's active. So I'm not going to disturb that one, but I am going to give them a nice feeding goat manure. And for me, it could be rabbit, it could be goat. It just depends on what I can find a good deal on and what the person may want to do an offer. Try to get a little more for my money. Alright. So that's pretty much it with these two bins. These three bins. The other bin up top I already fed. So we're all set there. Oh, somebody jumped out. So I'm gonna go grab another bin that I have on the other side. Those are my oldest bins, not meaning as far as vermo compost, but as far as the bins I first started with. Give me a second. Okay. Don't mind the 43, that's my address. And this is just a bin that I had when I first started out. Like most towns, we went to the bigger recyclable bins. So this was one of those bins. Like I said, I did feed these bins. There is still a little bit of food here. Some banana peel. Feels real good. Digging down. Nice moisture. Still quite a bit of newspaper in there. So maybe a little drier than I like it. Oh man, it smells good. So there's no smell issue. I try not to, you can tell they're feeding on. So I'm just going to fluff it up a little bit. I really hate to disturb where the food was, but there's a nice concentration. I'll just take the food and pick the food out. Nice concentration of worms here. I mean, it's a nice concentration of worms. So let me tell you, they're liking what they're getting. That's a nice dose of worms there. They're probably not too happy with me right now because I took them out of their comfort zone where they were eating. But I wanted to kind of fluff it up a little bit. This one still has some time on it. So, nice bin. Once again, nice bin. I can't complain. Just gonna put that back down there. You know, sometimes what I do is when I put food down, I add a little sprinkle of the manure on it. look at it as almost like us adding salt or pepper to our food. Um, so this one I'm going to give 3 pieces once again. I know you might be saying it's not a lot of food, but I don't like to overfeed my worms. But I do alternate between using, you know, the food scraps and the manures and the homemade worm food. So they do get plenty of food. That may not seem like a lot, but there is some food there that they're eating. I mean, and as you can see, the worms are healthy. They're big worms. They're not on a diet. All right, so sometimes I'm trying to spread the food out also. So they have this. I still have 4 more bins over in the other room to feed. So I want to give them all a little bit of something. So, so I'm not worried about that. All right. So let me grab one more bin. Take a look at another bin. I'm sorry, I was over there messing with a couple of the bins. Just checking. So when I bring the food over, this is another bin. This bin was started on 11/16, so it's a little over 2 months old. It's the bigger bin. The bigger bin, which is nice. But we're going to take a look at it. One of the other things I wanted to do was take temperature also. So I'm going to take temperature. Alright, this bin is 62. 64 in some areas. And that's probably due to the area I'm doing right now is where I had some food. So there's probably a lot of worms there. So they probably, because where there was no food, 61, 62. So I'm going to say it's an average of about 60, 62. 62. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but 62. Alright, let me fluff this up. I don't know if you can see, but there's a line here that's 6 inches. When I fill the bin, it's 6 inches high. As it sits and matures, you actually get the shrinkage. It goes down. But when I fluff it up, it's going to come right back to that area. This is where I had some food, and sure enough, like I said, yeah, this is where a lot of, and I'm just going to pull it up. It's a big concentration of worms there, where there was some food. Small worms, big worms, nice sized worms. So this whole area, it was 65 degrees, so that's good. Plus where these bins are that I just brought back in, I mean, that's some good stuff. I mean, look how that's just breaking down. That's nice and fluffy. You know, that's good. I mean, there's worms throughout that hole. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, that's nothing but worms. Nice healthy bin. Once again, and then where I have these bins is near the furnace. So the back of it is against the furnace on a stand that I made. some pumpkin that was buried. So they do get some heat coming off that furnace, and I think that's why they also stay so active, is because being so close to the furnace. So I don't know if you can see, maybe my head's in the way, I don't know. But leveling it out right now. It's almost, it's up probably about a ½ inch from where it was. And that's fine, because think about it. You put a lot of different stuff in here. I use newspaper, cardboard, and always cardboard is the last thing to go as far as being broken down, or eaten, whichever way you want to look at it. And a lot of times what happens is, so the bin is going to go down, and you're just going to get your worm casting compost. So that is a nice thing. So you know the bin's active, you know it's working great. If it's, you see it going down and you're getting nothing but compost. So I'm going to put these in here. I just push them in a little. Just some pieces. Nothing goes to waste. Put it all in there. And, you know, that's a nice sized chunk. And I'm going to put that in there. And like I said, I still have 3 more bins over there to feed, and I don't have a lot here. So that's going to be it for that, for this bin. And I'm going to just give a little sprinkle of the just around for the ones, the stragglers that don't want the green diet. They want to go for a little something else. And once I said before, I use the filter fabric, and that works great for me. Like I said, it holds in moisture, lets moisture out because it breathes. So that's a good thing. Alright, so that's going to be it for tonight. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to feed the rest of the worms the rest of the food. I'm not going to bring those bins over. They're pretty much the same. They're, as far as starting time, they're pretty much the same. I try to get 3 bins with the same date on them. So that when I'm doing it, I have 3 new bins being recycled at a time. So so most of the bins over there have the same date on it. So I have 3 bins that is the 13th. One's the 19th. It was the 13th, but I didn't do it until the 19th. So that has 3 there. I have 2 bins that are 1024, 1116, and 1 bin, actually 2 bins that are 1110. One of the blue bins was reconditioned on 1110, and that's the date I'm going to use and go 3 months. But looking at that, they are really making work of that material. I'm going to bring that one down again. I know you guys seen that one before, but